गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगा मैया यमुना मैया की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। सामवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। पतित पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। श्री श्री रुक्मिणी द्वारकाधीश की जय। श्री श्री रुक्मिणी द्वारकानाथ की जय। श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद ट्रांसडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय। प्रसादम डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जायामुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिके। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 4, Text 22. यत्र नारायणो देवो नरश्च भगवान् ऋषिः मृदुतीव्रं तपो दीर्घं ते पाते लोकभावनौ। यत्र नारायणो देवो नरश्च भगवान् ऋषिः मृदुतीव्रं तपो दीर्घं ते पाते लोकभावनौ। यत्र नारायणो देवो नरश्च भगवान् ऋषिः मृदुतीव्रं तपो दीर्घं ते पाते लोकभावनौ। यत्र नारायणो देवो नरश्च भगवान् ऋषिः मृदुतीव्रं तपो दीर्घं ते पाते लोकभावनौ। यत्र नारायणो देवो च भगवान् ऋषिः मृदुतीव्रं तपो दीर्घं ते पाते लोकभावनौ। यत्र नारायणो देवो नरश्च भगवान् ऋषिः मृदुतीव्रं तपोदीर्घं ते पाति माताजी यत्र नारायणो देवो नरश्च भगवान् ऋषिः मृदुतीव्रं तपोदीर्घं ते पाते लोकभावनो माताजी यत्र नारायणो देवो नरश्च भगवान् ऋषिः मृदुतीव्रं तपोदीर्घं ते पाते लोकभावनो यत्र नारायणो देवो नरश्च भगवान् ऋषिः मृदुतीव्रं तपोदीर्घं ते पाते लोकभावनो यत्र where Narayana, the personality of Godhead, Devaha, by incarnation, Naraha, human being, Cha, also, Bhagavan, the Lord, Rishihi, great sage, Mrudu, amiable to everyone, Tivuram, severe, Tapaha, penance, Dirgham, very long, Tepate, performing, Lokabhavano, welfare of all living entities. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. There in Badrikashram, the personality of Godhead, in his incarnation as the sages Nara and Narayan, has been undergoing great penance since time immemorial for the welfare of all amiable living entities. Purport. Badrikashram in the Himalayas, the abode of Naranarayan sages, is a great place of pilgrimage for the Hindus. Even up to the present, hundreds and thousands of pious Hindus go to pay respects to the incarnation of Godhead Naranarayana. It appears that even 5,000 years ago, this holy place was being visited by such holy being as Uddhava, and even at that time, the place was known to be very, very old. This particular pilgrimage site is very difficult to visit for ordinary men because of its difficult situation in the Himalayas, in a place which is covered by ice almost all year. A few months during the summer season, people can visit this place at great personal inconvenience. There are 4 dhamas or kingdom of God which represent the planets of the spiritual sky, which consist of the Brahmajyoti and the Vaikunthas. These are Badrikashram, Rameshwar, Jagannath Puri and Dwarka. Faithful Hindus still visit all these holy places for perfection of spiritual realization, following in the footsteps of devotees like Uddhava. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Stam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकाकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्। Hare Krishna. So, first of all, I would like to beg forgiveness. I know all of us were expecting His Holiness Navayogendra Maharaj. Even I was expecting, but because of last evening's program went very late, and Maharaj has to travel to Las Vegas temple. So therefore, I am here to serve you. So I seek your blessings so that I can speak something which is glorifying Lord for all of your pleasure and for my purification. So we are in the juncture where in this chapter Uddhava has seen the destruction of Yadu dynasty. He met with Lord Krishna along with Maitreya, and just before Lord's departure, Krishna has asked Uddhava to go to Badrikashram, and Uddhava is narrating this to Vidura. So this is the verse wherein Uddhava is leaving for Badrikashram. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning about Naranarayan Rishis and the significance of Badrikashram. So in today's discussion, we'll see following points. First, history about Naranarayan Rishi. Second, pastimes that happened in Badrikashram. Third, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning about traveling to holy places. And then the fourth, its contest in our life. So the first part about history of Naranarayan Rishi. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that yada yada hi dharmasya glanirvavati bharata abhyudhanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. So Krishna appears in his various incarnations whenever there is need to establish religious principles. So even Naranarayan Rishi, they appeared wherein to demonstrate Krishna's opulence as a renunciate. Krishna has all these 6 opulences, right? And also to kill one of the demon who was really troubling everybody. So it's history of this demon. So this, like Prabhupada mentions in this verse, this place is very, very old. So Uddhava was 5,000 years back, and he also is referring that it was very old. So this must be earlier Yuga. So it's even before, much before Mahabharata. So in I think Mahabharata also the reference comes in Adi Parva that how there was a demon, his name was Dambodhan. He performed great penance to Lord Shiva. And when Lord Shiva was pleased, he asked, what the demigods ask generally whenever they are pleased, what boon you want? And generally what demons say every time? I want immortality in some form of other. And what they in turn say? It's not possible. His story repeats again and again. The demons want to be immortal. They do hard penances, and some demigod appears, like it may be Lord Brahma or Lord Shiva, or like in this case Surya. And then when they know that it's very difficult to become immortal, the demons try to use their tiny puny intelligence and ask boons in a way they think that they'll become immortal anyway. Like Hiranyakashipu, he asked, I should not be killed here, outside, inside, in day, in night, in sky or on ground. He tried to cover all the bases, But ultimately, Krishna has his, he says, amongst the cheater I am gambling. He, he can fulfill all those conditions and still deliver that demon. In the same way, this Dambodhan, he asked Sun God that please bless me with 1,000 kavachas, armors, which are very difficult to penetrate first. Second, if somebody penetrates, he should die immediately. And he should die. Yeah. Third, the time gap between first penetration and second penetration, the person has to perform 1,000 year penances. Then only he can, break the second one. So, by that he thought that, okay, there is so much gap, I can become more powerful even if somebody tries to break me. So he, kind of covered all the bases, and then Surya Dev said, Tathastu, so be it. And, the demon went on his way, natural way, troubling everyone. But from that day, his name became as a Sahastra Kavacha, because he got, this 1,000 armors. Now, what happened is that, of course, none of the demigod can, combat, and, there's so many strict conditions, right? So, of course, they go to Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma takes them to Lord Vishnu. History repeats. Lord Vishnu says, don't worry, I'll come. So, Lord then appears, it comes in 11th canto, as a son of Dharma and Murti in the form of twins, Nara and Narayana. And they, after, doing due course of sanskaras, they decide to go and start penance in Badrikashram. So again, whenever somebody do penance, there is another personality who get disturbed. Any guess? Indra, yes. You see that, in history, there are so many incidences wherever somebody, like Vishwamitra was performing tapasya, immediately Indra got disturbed, because he thinks there is an insecurity. If they perform tapasya, they would like to take my position. So this is the nature of a materialistic person is depicted in this, Indra's behavior. They always feel that somebody would take my position. But devotees, they don't feel that, because they know that devotees don't compete, this gopi or this gopa is going ahead of me, I should do something to, destroy their devotional service. This devotee is doing, Nirjala Ekadashi, let me somehow, feed him something so that, his vow is broken. No. Because devotees know that each one of us has unique service and relationship with Krishna which nobody can replace. So there is a job assurance, guarantee. Krishna has said, don't worry, But that's not the case with, materialistic. So Indra got disturbed, and then he immediately, what he does, as usual, sends Apsaras, Kamadeva and company. They goes for their, dance performances, thinking Nara and Narayan Rishi will get disturbed because this material world is called Maithuna Agara, right? It's the Kamadev's presence is very prominent. But when Narayan Rishi, they see Kamadeva and company dancing, they open their eyes. Then instead of becoming angry, they just smile, and to their astonishment, from the limbs of Narayan Rishi, many beautiful celestial apsaras they come. In front of them, their beauty, the other personalities who had come for perform, they were looking like cockroaches, And then he says that, okay, take this as gift to Indra, So, and tell him, don't worry, we are not behind, your throne or something. So, yeah, then, the Urvashi, famous Urvashi is, she appears from the body of, Narayan Rishi. So, Kamadev takes that and they go to heavenly planets. They continue their penance, and then starts the real fight between this Sahasra Kavacha and Narayan Rishi. So, the place where they were performing austerity, it is said that this place is so special that if you perform 1 day of austerity, that is equivalent to 1,000 years of austerity performed. So what was happening is Narayan Rishi used to fight with Sahasra Kavacha. He used to break one of the armor, and then he used to appear kind of unconscious or like die. But again, the place was such that they used to get revived next day. And then next day immediately, Nara used to fight. Narayan Rishi used to start performing penance. Nara used to fight, break his another kavach. Then he used to, get unconscious, again rise up, start performing penance. Narayan Rishi used to come, break the third kavach. Like this, systematically they destroyed 99 of his armors. Only one remaining, and that was he was about to get killed. But this Sahasra Kavach was so much dedicated to Lord Shiva, Suryadev, that he again went for his shelter. And Suryadev said, okay, he prayed to Narayan Rishi that, please forgive him. I'll send him back, in your next Leela. And then that guy comes as, not guy, sorry, that Sahasra Kavacha demon, he comes as Karna. And his last kavach, he himself gives as a charity to Indra. And then he was killed by Nara, that is Arjuna. So that is the full circle of this. So Narayan Rishi had played did their pastimes to kill this Sahasra Kavacha. So that's the that's this pastime happened. These two pastimes happened in Badrikashram, and also this place. All the, like Prabhupada mentions, all the pious people, they go there. So even at that time, many sages, hermits, they used to be in the company of Narayan Rishi to get their association. And Krishna had asked Uddhava to do same, and Uddhava is now traveling to Badrikashram for the same purpose. So actually, Prabhupada is mentioning interesting fact that therefore one should take great inconvenience and visit these holy places. And he has mentioned Char Dham, 4 places. India very famous Char Dham Yatras, right? So again, we also see in the many devotees like Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings, right? Sesabasthana Heribo Ami Pranay Bhakata Sanghe, that whichever places Lord Gauranga has visited, let me visit in the association of devotees. So we see that a lot of emphasis is given on pilgrimage, right? Visiting holy places. But that may not be possible for all of us always. And also another aspect is, it's not just that we go to holy place, but the important aspect is we go there and hear from the realized soul. Otherwise, we won't get the benefit. We may get some benefit, pious credit, but we may not get the full benefit from visiting the holy place, right? So, so Srila Prabhupada has made this very simple for us. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, there comes pastime of Kurma Brahman. When Lord Chaitanya was going South India visit, so we'll see now this relevance in our life. Okay, Prabhupada is mentioning we should go to holy places. They are very difficult to go. And what should we do? So let's see what it says here. So this is from Madhya Leela, chapter 1, text 127. No, 126. We'll say. कृपा कर प्रभु मोर यन तोम संगे सहित ना पारी दुख वैष्णव विषय तरंगे. The Brahman begged Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, my dear Lord, kindly show me favor and let me go with you. I can no longer tolerate the waves of misery caused by materialistic life. So, whenever devotee, one becomes devotee, naturally he understands that how this material world is a miserable place. See, when a person is deceased, the first step of cure is he should realize that he is deceased. If he doesn't realize, then there is no question of he going to doctor and taking treatment, right? So therefore, Bhagavad Gita, first thing it tells is that we are in this dukkhalayama shashvatam, place is of place of misery, and we have this adhyatmika adi bhautika adi devik klesha, right? And once he understands, then he says next path, how should I cure? And there, in this case, Kurma Brahman, he came to know that he is mentioning in this verse that I am being tortured by this miserable condition. Kindly allow me to come with you. So that's for us. Many times devotee also feel, okay, let me go to Vrindavan, Mayapur, do service in temple, stay there. Okay. So, of course, that is good. But if that's just to escape from material misery, that's not proper understanding. So let's see what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replies. Prabhu kahe, aise baat kabhu na kariba, grahi rahi Krishna nama nirantar laiba. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, don't speak like this again. Better to remain at home and chant the holy name of Krishna always. Yare dekh tar kahe Krishna upadesh, amara gyay guru hana tare desh. Instruct everyone to follow the orders of Lord Sri Krishna as they are given in the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. In this way, become a spiritual master and try to liberate everyone in this land. Kabuna badhibe tomar vishayat ranga punarapi thani pabe mora sanga. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu further advised the Brahmana Kurma, if you follow this instruction, your materialistic life at home will not obstruct your spiritual advancement. Indeed, if you follow these regulative principles, we will again meet here, or rather, you will never lose my company. So, in these verses, what Srila Prabhupada has given is what exactly Lord Chaitanya has told this Kurma Brahman. Srila Prabhupada has given, okay, whichever place. First of all, he has given us these dhams also. We are in, New Dwarka Dham, right? Dwarka Dham ki jai. We don't have to travel to Gujarat and, go to the Dwarkadish temple, stand in queue. We just come here. Dwarkadish is standing here. There is Dwarkanath also, and we take darshan. It's exactly the same benefit. It all depends on our consciousness. And because of Srila Prabhupada's mercy, he has made it so simple. how we can do this. Just follow morning program, do our services, book distribution, help in preaching mission, go on Sankirtan. Just if we do that, what will happen? We are as good as we are staying in these dhams. So, practically, yes, we can visit these holy places, get charged, come back. But even if we are not able to go, we can still reap the same benefit because of Srila Prabhupada's mercy. And the greatest gratitude that we can show is accepting that wholeheartedly and sharing it with others. When we do that, what will happen? It's not that our mercy will go, what if 100 more devotees come, I will not get darshan from front, or I will not get prasad. No. Krishna is unlimited, Krishna has a place for everyone. Rather, it will double. When we will share, the mercy which we are getting is double. So, we should always be thinking, it may be in the form of like how squirrel helped Lord Sri Ram in building the bridge. So, whatever capacity we have, we should all try to push this moment, of Srila Prabhupada, so that we become part of these transcendental, divine places, and we get, complete benefit. So, here Uddhava is now, going to hand over Vidura to Maitreya, and the Maitreya will continue. The discussion what Krishna and Vidura Krishna had with Maitreya and Uddhava, that comes in 11th canto, after like chapter 6, almost 24 chapters. Those are called as Uddhava Gita. So in detail, the discussion comes there. So when we'll go to 11th canto, we'll discuss that. But that's where Uddhava leaves, and then the discussion between Vidura and Maitreya Muni starts. So to summarize, we saw that how Uddhava was instructed by Krishna to go to Badrikashram. We saw the history of Naranarayan Rishi, how they had appeared from Dharma and Murti, and how they showed this Krishna's opulence as a renunciate, by performing severe austerities. We also saw the history of this Dambodhan or Sahasra Kavacha demon who came as Karna, and how Narayan Rishi defeated them. We discussed about the past time wherein Indra tried to disturb Narayan Rishi, but in return he got Urvashi. And then we saw that how we don't have to be kind of insecure about our position in Krishna consciousness, because Krishna has a relationship with everyone, and nobody can take away our position in service of Krishna. And then towards the end we saw that how Prabhupada mentions that yes, we should visit these dhamas, but even if not, that's fine. Whichever place we are in, we should stay there, preach this Krishna consciousness movement, and by doing that we'll be as if staying in spiritual world. So with that, would like to stop. Any comments, questions? Yes, bro.
Can you repeat the pastime of the last life of Karna? Somehow my mind was spaced out.
Okay.
The last life of Karna, he was killed by
Narayan Rishi.
Yeah.
So in his last life, he was demon known as Sahasra Kavacha. He had a boon wherein he got 1,000 armors from Surya, and then the boon was, if somebody breaks his armor, he had to perform again 1,000 years of meditation to get energy to break another one. So all these conditions were there, but Narayan Rishi, they fulfilled all of them, and they cut 99 of his armors, and then only one armor was left. So that time he again takes shelter of Surya, and then Surya sends him in his next birth as Karna. So Karna was born with that last armor which was remaining from his previous birth. So it's very detailed past memory. This is the gist. Is that answer? Okay, anything else? Okay, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्री नर नारायण ऋषि की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे।